Hello! Hello! Thank you for checking in. It is Wednesday, hump day, humpless day, or just too damn tired to hump day. Thank you for checking in. Great to see everybody. I don't know what category y'all fall into, but I'm in the too damn tired. Seriously, I could fall asleep right now while I'm talking to you. I had another sleepless up all night. This is really, really getting annoying for the last 9 months. Not been sleeping. Thank you. And Doggy says, you look like you're in a good mood. That's good. Because I am. For no reason. I am usually in a good mood for absolutely no reason. Sometimes I'm in a bad mood and also for no reason. So, did I have salmon? No, I did not have salmon dinner last night. I had sushi. Sweetie and I went out for a delicious sushi dinner, and then we saw Captain America. David Jones just wrote, fish is fish. That's what she said. Wait, what? No, that's what he said. Wait, does that work? No, definitely not true. You cannot compare, like, cod to salmon. Just no. Fish is not fish. So, yes. Does anyone else see Captain America? I know I'm a little late to the party as far as Captain America goes. It was the family, the Iron Man family, and now first we had like Iron Man 1, 2, and 3. There's been 3 of them, and this is the same, but now he's got the whole family. Iron Man plus his buddies, Captain America, and a flying guy, and Scarlett Johansson, and the Olsen sisters' younger sister. I don't even know the names of all the other characters. And then, like 14-year-old Spider-Man, like baby Spider-Man before it, like, so it was fun, but it was an action movie, popcorn movie. It was fun. But basically, I don't know if anyone's seen the Avengers, Captain America Avengers. Basically, I didn't see the last Iron Man, but I saw Iron Man 2. And which Iron Man 2 I did not like as much because there was a lot of the plot was just like male ego bickering where like they're fighting, like the two best friends are fighting and like destroying the house and all this stuff, and it was just this like stupid, like juvenile kind of like real immature male ego stuff, and rather than like saving the world from bad guy stuff, which took up a lot of the plot. This one, it starts off like with a bang, with like a bad guy. Then most of the plot is them infighting amongst themselves, infighting. And most of the fight in the battles is the Avengers battling the Avengers because they can't agree on something. When, a real good, open, honest conversation would have solved most of that plot point. And then they could have gotten back to, like, having a real bad guy. I would say, David Jones said he saw Captain America. I would say that I didn't like the plot because they like busted up an airport, they're busting up buildings and planes because they're having like a male ego fight, or I don't know, a superhero ego fight, when they could have just talked it out. And then David Jones says the plot was weak. The plot was just them bickering. There was barely a bad guy. They had like a one good bad guy fight in the very beginning where they busted some stuff up, and then the rest of it was like infighting. Like, we want to sign, we don't want to sign. All right, we're gonna try and kill each other then, and bust up an airport and some more buildings. And like, if this were real life, I would also be on the side of the United Nations saying somebody's got to control these arrogant assholes who just busted up an airport for no reason. That was, I mean, they had this like fight amongst themselves over who's going to go on the plane, who's not going to plane. They must have cost like $1 billion worth of damage. I mean, the whole plot was like, oh, the Avengers are like, they're a wild card that are out of control. And yeah, you just wrecked an airport because you couldn't have a real conversation. So, and then finally they get to the bad guy. The bad guy's barely a bad guy. David Jones says he liked the Winter Soldier subplot. Well, I would have liked if they actually had more of the plot, like with bad guys, and actually, because first they start out, they've got like they catch the bad guys because they've got some this like super virus germ biological weapon, and they capture that. But in the course of that, they busted a building and some innocent people got killed. But if you watch the Avengers, a whole bunch of innocent people get hurt and killed, and millions of dollars worth of damage. And then the whole rest of the movie was like infighting about the plot of who's going to sign, who's not going to sign, I'm not going to sign, I'm going to go off on my own, we're going to fight each other. And the whole movie was them fighting each other. It's like, really? When they could have, if they had just had an open conversation and said, dude, it wasn't me, I didn't kill your father, it was the other guy dressed up, that would have, like, because I liked the cat guy, I just wish they would have given him, like, if they had had an actual conversation and said, dude, I didn't kill your dad, it was somebody dressed up like me, then that could have solved that whole plot point with one conversation. They never bothered to actually try to say that to the guy. But I like that character, the cat, and it's like, really? David Jones says, it's a guy's movie, you're taking it way too seriously. What? Expecting it? That's what I'm saying, David Jones. It's like this like male ego, lack of conversation, we're just going to fight each other thing. There was no brains in this movie or the plot. Exactly my point. David Jones says it's a guy. Does that mean it needs to be dumbed down to like zero plot? There was no plot. The whole plot was them fighting amongst themselves and then busting up stuff while they're fighting. But otherwise, it was fun, it was entertaining, but you're like, that was a piece of fluff. It's just a really expensive fluff. Sam says, what happened to your hair? Yeah, I brushed it, Sam. It's not as gigantic as yesterday. But we had a very nice night. It was lots of fun. And it was fun to watch the movie. But I'm just like, really? Because you know, they got all of these big-name actors. They've got, I don't know, like $2 billion to make the movie, and they couldn't have a plot? I mean, they had so much money making that movie. They could have made like 100 movies with what they spent on that movie. Wingdoggy says it's a plot by our government to brainwash our kids to kill each other, and that is the way of population control. Wow, Wingdoggy. Well, you could look at it that way, but I don't think that's an actual plot. It would take a lot of, you know, like manipulation to actually make that all happen in a concerted effort. Mainly because A, the government doesn't have anything to do with actually making movies or choosing movies. That's all the studios. And the reason they pick these silly plots and these silly movies is because they're so afraid of taking a risk that they want to just keep making the same sure thing over and over and over. And they spend $200 million on it because they want to make a movie that is geared towards the 14-year-old boy, because they think those are the people who go to the movies the most. So they want to make a movie that you can, A, have toys for and other things, because that's the whole other market, toys, cartoons, and all that stuff. So all these superhero movies, are part of them are based around the toys afterwards. Video games, toys, yeah, all the extra stuff. So it's really, that part is just about the studio's desire to make as much money as possible. That's why they pick these movies. That's why they dumb them down. They're making it for a 14-year-old boy. And the whole purpose of the movie is to, A, sell tickets and sell toys or video games or whatever. So, yeah, as much as you would like to think that the government has that much foresight or the ability to kind of like have some sort of like nefarious giant master plan plot, we all know that things don't work that smoothly in the government for anything like that to really be possible. You know how long it takes to get anything, even logical things, approved and passed and done. So it would be very unusual to see a government so efficient and so coordinated that they could pull off a giant master plan like that without having it. Exactly. Wing Doggy says, but their proportion violence. Wait, I think, what do you mean? I think there's a word missing, or but there something violence. Oh, and I had sushi for dinner, Linda. Thank you for asking. I had soft shell crab, which are my favorite, and some sushi rolls. Delicious, delicious dinner. David Jones says, wag the dog. If only. If only. If only things were just like in the movie. Wing Doggy, what do you mean? Their proportion violence? Perpetuating violence? Is that what you mean? You said the films are perpetuating violence. Well, that's because that's what the studios write. The studios writing that has nothing to do with the government. It's all about their desire to make profit and their idea that the only thing that will sell and the thing that's going to be the safest bet is these action comic book movies geared towards a 14-year-old boy as the audience. That's why they have no plot and lots of violence and constant action. Has nothing to do with a government plot. It's all about studios' attempt to make money, sell toys, and not take any risk. That's what they don't want to do, because what happens, they would rather make one big movie that costs $200 million than 200 little movies for $1 million. Because they think, okay, we make one big movie that's a sure bet, sells around the entire world, tons of toys, we're going to make all. However, so that's why they want to do the most safest thing possible, the same thing they did before, and keep doing the same thing over and over, because they think that's a sure bet. Because when they do something a little different and it bombs, then they've bombed a $200 million movie. You know, there are some of those movies that have come out. But yeah, Wing Doggy. Yeah, Wing Doggy. That's why I like independent film. That's why I prefer it, because if you want to see a movie that has more intelligence or more, you know, more of a message, more of a story, more of a plot, better characters, then you have to watch independent films or foreign films or watch English TV shows because they're not worried. A lot of other countries have government-supported film industries. So a lot of these like TV shows in England and Sweden and other countries, they have grants and fundraising for the arts. Like we've cut out a lot of that stuff. So our film, so there's less pressure. There's less pressure for filmmakers to be motivated solely for sell toys and make money. They're a little more like there's a little more room for creativity and doing different things and telling different stories. But in the U.S., you really have to watch the small independent films. So, and because, I don't know, this has turned into a whole thing about the film industry. Because, we don't have any more Blockbuster, there's no more video stores. Remember, you used to have video stores. So before, 10 years ago, studios would make, small straight-to-video movies, and they'd make those, and they'd still be able to make some of the small movies, and they'd do them straight to video. And those movies would still make money. But now everything's online. Streaming. The problem with streaming is, you're either going to put it on a cable channel or you're going to stream it where it's like $1 to download. It's a lot less money. So, hi Max, thanks for checking in. So a lot of independent film producers went out of business or had to change their business to something else because the market, just like all the music stores and CDs and the music industry changed, and everyone's like, now you're making like $1 downloads. Same thing happened with movies and with books. All these bookstores went out of business, record stores, video stores. And that puts a lot of small producers of all those different things out of business. And so that limits your choice, and it makes it so that studios are afraid to do anything different or take a risk. Think about the movies that they made in the 70s, before there was all this, before the world changed. They made like Serpico and all kinds of weird, kind of crazy Dog Day Afternoon, and I don't make movies like that anymore. Hi, Max Fernandez. David Jones says his favorite films are Canadian because he loves everything Canadian because his girlfriend is in Canada. Chicks with Sticks, about women's hockey, and Men with Brooms, about men curling. Yeah, curling is the weirdest sport ever. I'm positive that the beginning of curling was just an attempt by somebody to make cleaning the ice fun. Like somebody said, oh wait, you need to clean the ice skating rink, clean the rink so you can skate and there is snow. So I'm like, let's say curling. We're sweeping the ice with brooms and a ball. What is that? It's like playing hockey with a broom. So weird. Why? David Jones says they throw really, really heavy stones down the ice. It was something, how there's something like, how are you going to get the ice hockey team to clean all the snow off the ice? I know. Throw a ball in the middle. Give them brooms. Something like that. Yeah. Oh, just to remind you guys, I'll be here tomorrow, Thursday. The Genius will be here. But there's no Friday show, no Funny Friday, because I will be at my first foot physical therapy appointment on Friday. You know what I realized? For the last 2 weeks, I've been talking when I go around to places and businesses and stuff are in the neighborhood that see me and they're like, oh, how's your foot? I'm like, oh, really good. I have my first day of rehab on Friday. And I've been talking about foot rehab, and I keep saying I got rehab. I just realized I'm actually supposed to call it physical therapy, because when you keep talking about rehab, I think people, I realize people might be like, well, she sounds really excited to go to rehab. Like, I mean, foot rehab. They probably, like, that's so California. Everybody's got rehab. I got rehab on Friday. Yeah, I gotta remember to call it physical therapy. Rehab for my foot. I just can't get my foot to stop drinking. My foot is totally wasted. Foot, you are going to rehab. This is an intervention. No, no, no. Yes, intervention. We love you, foot. We want you to be healthy. Ah. Okay, guys. David Jones says the foot won't change unless the foot wants to change. I'm ready. I'm breaking out of here. You can't stop me. Ah! And that is our foot theater for the day. Oh, you are a nerd. That's right, it's hump day. Hump day, humpless day, or I'm just too damn tired to hump day. I was driving in my car, and I was getting really nervous today because I was driving, and I was like, I was so tired. I was like, stay awake, stay awake, stay awake. I'm like, bed, sleepy, sleepy bed. Wait. Linda says I scare. Linda, I can't tell you how many times I have heard that from other people. You scare me. What do you mean? Oh my goodness, it's already 5:51. How did that happen? All I did was start talking about a movie, and then I went on a whole rant about the film industry and the fear of taking chances. Linda says she doesn't want me to crash. Me neither. So I need to take a nap. It's really annoying when you can't sleep. I'll go to bed, and it's like, check the clock, I'm still awake. It's 4 in the morning. I check the clock, I'm still awake. It's 5 in the morning. The sun is starting to come up. I'm like, ugh. Finally, I fall asleep at like 5:30, and the alarm goes off at 8:30. I'm like, no. Oh, that's good, Wing Doggy. All right, so I am just about to sign off, but I want to thank you guys for coming to see me because you're super awesome. I will be back tomorrow at 5:15 Los Angeles time for Stupid Question Day, a regular feature of Live with Lorielle New, where I put on the Genius Cap, which allows me to answer any question about any topic in the entire universe with complete accuracy. Guaranteed. Got my word on it. Cross my fingers. Let me say goodbye to everybody. Allura Star and Shocker and Sturgis Guy and T-Sis and House of Dave and Sam and St. Clinton and Eric and Petey and Tim and Ryan and Photo and Philip Chandler and Mark Mean and Star Raven and Angie Tomlinson and Fairies Lover and Lucky Girl and Andrew Yusuf and The Crim and Marcel and Jim Dandy and Sturgis Guy and Bill Knaus and Scott Kimmis and Joe Barney and Red Stapler and John McCain and Max and Brett and Terry Sue and Blair Cooper and 1QOV and Sam and St. Clinton and Jay Dahlman and Cosmic Joe and Boot and Swede and Wing Doggy, and I hope I didn't miss anybody. Kisses for everybody. Bye. I love you all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bring your questions. Guaranteed answers for your questions. Guaranteed stupid answers for your questions. I love you. Bye. Stupid is